Hi everybody, welcome to our official Fieldrunners 2 strategy guide brought to you courtesy of gamerguides.com. My name is Andrew Mills, author of the strategy guide for Fieldrunners 2, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Ring of Fire level on heroic difficulty, going for those elusive 3 stars. Now, Ring of Fire is a fairly long level, even though there's not many rounds. It's a reasonably sort of complex pathway that we're going to need to build. And while certainly, items are not essential to completing this level on heroic, it certainly makes life easier when you're going for no leaks. So that's going to be one of the key reasons why we do use a few items on this map. But getting back to the main strategy at hand, we've got our first turret there that was placed near the middle of the loop reservation in the ramps in the entrench, and we've now got our second fully third level tower there going as well. We've got our new one put up facing the trench, but this is also a very set position because it forces any runners, when they come round the left hand side of the map later on, we're forcing them into the fire pit, and that's going to be one of the key things you're going to want to do in this particular map, is to force the runners into the fire path that are littering the corners of the map and the bottom of the map as well. So with the fourth turret in place, things are going to get a little bit tighter now because we're going to want to block off access to the right hand path as best as possible, and there's a few tiles that we're going to need to get rid of to do that. We just about get them killed before they touch the item Spanish flu, but that is there for backup just in case. As you can see with the loop, it's going to now take them up and around the top end over the first fire path. Putting down this turret now will allow us to push them onto the top right corner fire path and deal even more damage naturally to them. Later on you will find that some runners might make it down, and they might make it towards the exit, but that's why we've got those items put there in place. Okay, so as you can tell, the fire pit is doing a good bit of damage, and we put this other tower down near the middle of the map quite quickly because that is going to take the Fokkers down before they reach the exit, because there's quite a few Fokker planes that will line up. We drop another 2 towers near the bottom of the map, and we drop another tower up near the entrance vertical bridge, the short bit, and that's forcing them right round, literally now, all of the flame paths. So we're maximising the distance those guys have to run, we're maximising the number of fire tiles they're going to have to run over, so that will make our work slightly less daunting as the rounds increase. But the main structure of the maze is now in place. We're just going to embellish on this. We're going to add to it a bit and bring in the more powerful towers very, very shortly. Okay, so our first spark tower is dropped down into the center of the looping trench. If you notice, we haven't got any slow towers yet, and they're not really as essential on this map, purely because they're going to be running quite a bit of distance in through the flames anyway. So we will start to introduce slow towers a little bit later on into the maze, but they're not required at the minute. Okay, so we do drop our first slow tower down now, and it's pretty much near the central area of the map. This will eventually slow down units, and this little 4 square area where that slow tower is and the gun turret, we're going to start packing that out shortly with some high power towers. But for the minute, it will allow us to slow down any incoming planes as well as any runners that are coming through the trenches. So it does serve a dual purpose being in that particular position. We're now going to get ready until we get $21, and once we've got $21 we're going to swap out one of the turrets for a spark tower. That particular second spark tower will also make it much less likely that airplanes and helicopters are going to make it towards the exit on the right. We've now got hazmats and toastmasters running through the trench. Luckily we don't have any towers that are gas based or fire based, so they're not really a massive concern. They're just treated as a regular field runner would be. Don't forget that the polymorph tower will slow down sudden stubborn runners, unlike some other slow towers, which makes it one of the best ones in the game. So if you can get access to the polymorph, whether you're using the iOS version for free and the paid version, or if you're saving up the money on Android or Steam, definitely worth getting without a shadow of a doubt. If you watched our other videos on Fieldrunners 2 guide, you'll know that already. So we're just basically building up the spark tower that we've got. We're going to get it up to level 3 with the other two, and that's going to maximise the damage running around the trenches, and also deal the damage as well to the copters as they go past. We drop a hive tower now down into the mix. That will pick out all the enemies around that central area, whether they're runners or whether they're helicopters. And it does have an area of effect damage as well, so it does help when generating combo kills. And as you can tell, we have an airstrike ready to use. And as it stands at the minute, nobody has touched our item either, and we've still got no mics. And we're more than halfway through the rounds. Okay, now we use the airstrike there. The reason being is we know that we're going to get another airstrike live before the end of the map, so it makes sense to use it, get a few extra easy kills, get some extra quick cash for upgrading our towers sooner in the rounds, and we know we'll have another full airstrike anyway before we get to round 50, so it's not a problem. Now one thing we're going to do here, we're going to show you here a little bunching trick, and this will help towards some of the achievements. We're going to drop a mine in the middle of the units while pausing it, and we get a nice easy combo kill. That isn't essential to take out those tanks, by the way, but like we said, it does speed things up somewhat, and it does also show you how simple it can be to get some combo kills with the right items by bunching the enemies together intelligently. As you can tell, very few runners are even making it out of the trenches now. Now that we've got our spark towers in place, we've got the polymorph tower there and our hive tower as well. Combos are flying up all over the place. We now drop down a Tesla tower to complete that central 4 square area of high power towers, and we're going to get that upgraded quite shortly to level 3, and as you can see already, immediately paying dividends on the aerial field runners that are shooting across the map. so we now upgrade the Tesla to level 2. And our next focus is on making sure we get that to level 3 as soon as possible. Okay, so we're still sitting comfortably. We've used one item intentionally to speed things up. That wasn't essential. We've still got our Spanish flu sitting by the exit. I'm waiting to pick off anybody that decides to get in the way. We throw down another slow tower to, you know, make the most use of that spark tower that's on the left hand side of the map near the entrance. And as you can see, that tower now means the aerial units don't last very long whatsoever, especially with a level 3 Tesla tower in the background, taking them down without even batting an eyelid. And I think that's the cool thing about when you get the right strategies on Fieldrunners, is that they don't have to be massively difficult, they don't have to be massively complex, and just the right towers in just the right places, even if they're not very advanced towers, can make all the difference. And I think that's one of the good things about the game and the puzzle aspects of it. There's just so many variations that you can do to get the same result. You know, this particular maze that we're building might not be the strongest maze for endless mode, but certainly when it came to getting the 3 stars, it was an incredibly consistent layout, and it was built over obviously hours of playing the maps and figuring out when the leaks were occurring and what's the quickest way to plug them. And we're always quite keen here to ensure that you're using the lowest, most basic towers possible, so that you can see that while you can by all means use nuke towers, and you can use boomkins, and you can use mine towers and all the other fancy towers that you like, and they are really good for the likes of endless mode, they're not necessary, and you can get just as much enjoyment and just as much success from your bare bones playing, as long as you approach them properly. Also, for those that are looking for the heavy transport achievement card, as you can just see there now, this is a decent level for those to appear on, and the heavy transports primarily appear on lava flow levels anyway, so that's a little point to bear in mind if you're going for that particular achievement card, killing the right number of heavy transports. This and the frying pan are 2 good levels to repeatedly play to get that total and unlock that card. It's quite a disco light effect up there in the top centre of the map, and it's proven to be highly effective. We're on to round 44 now, and very few units are even making it out of the trenches, which is exactly, you know, what we want. We're hitting them hard, we're hitting them quick in the trenches, and they're getting very little time to recover, and the Tesla towers are also ensuring that the aerial threats are pretty much moot. There's not really anything to worry about. As we mentioned before, we once again already have another airstrike queued up and ready to go. We mix it in again now with a new hive tower. That gives us a little extra bit of support on the trenches that we've got, just to wear them down that a little bit further, making it much less likely that the runners are going to make it. We do have a single, as you can tell, hazmat runner running around the top of the screen, the little cheeky monkey that he is. So he's going to get taken out there by the gas. Which is quite good as well, because the good thing about the Spanish flu item is that even hazmats that are normally impervious to the gas towers and radiation towers, they're not impervious to the Spanish flu, so they will take 100% damage just the same as everybody else. this is effectively pretty much it now. There's not really going to be much more building massively that's going on. You've got an incredibly solid defence line around the trenches, and you've got an airstrike ready to go. So ultimately we're now just adding to it, we're just building it, the defences just a little bit more, and this should be pretty guaranteed 3 stars. And as you can tell, we've got no leaks still as well. We hope you have found this particular strategy to be of help to you. Don't forget you can check out the full official guide available exclusively at gamerguides.com. It's free to sign up, so please go check it out. Don't forget you can also follow us on Twitter at gamerguides, and also it's worthwhile following the Fieldrunners official Twitter at Fieldrunners as well for updates to the game and news of updates to the guide. Thanks very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you for our other guides real soon. Take care. Bye bye.